Okay. Hello and welcome in, everyone. My name's Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in my 30s, we're going to be doing some woodworking today. We're going to be building a shelf project. And also, hello and welcome in, Mr. Spock. I hope you're having a lovely morning. Now, I know once again I have busted out I am terrible at drawing board, but I do want to kind of give you guys a little bit of an overview of what I'm trying to accomplish. Do you know what building a shelf means, Sugi? I just view building a shelf for you just make a shelf. Like, you just put wood together in such a way in which you can store things on it. I don't know if there's actually like a secondary meaning. If there is, let me know, but I actually don't. I don't know if there's like a secondary meaning to it, but so a little bit of a game plan here. I want to have 3 shelves. Each shelf, actually, let me grab a box. Okay. Ooh. Not a lot of room. Okay, so basically, each shelf is gonna get one of these like big fruit boxes. Dropping by to say hello while I'm at work. I'll tune in if you're still alive by lunchtime. But have fun building the shelf. I bet it'll look cool as F. Well, thanks for stopping by quickly, Ari, and may you have a great work shift today. But we're gonna have 3 shelves. Those 3 shelves are gonna each get one of these bad boy boxes, because I want to sort my scraps based off of 3 criteria. Well, we're gonna sort them by species, sort of. One shelf will be pine, so that's gonna be a lot of the general like 2x4 materials. A lot of my actually probably like small pieces of plywood will end up there, because it's pretty much all the plywood I buy is pine. The second one is gonna hold cedar, because I just have so much cedar lying around. Cedar is gonna get its own bin. And then the third shelf, that's gonna get hardwoods. So most of the hardwood scraps I have laying around are either oak or sassafras. So that's gonna be the main bins for the scrap wood, and also we're gonna put some boards on the top to just have a place on top. I don't want to put anything on top because this is going underneath where I keep my weed eater. So I need to be I can't put like a large bin, like a large cardboard bin. But the reason I'm gonna put these like cardboard bins on here is they've got handles, and for small scraps, like these guys, like these little guys, a bin is going to be very useful to sort through. Also, one of the shelves is going to be a little bit too high for me to just like look at and like go through. But with a bin, I can pull it off the shelf, look through it, see if I've got anything appropriate for what I'm trying to do this today, and then grab what I need and go from there. So that's a little bit of the top part, and then there's also going to be a large bottom shelf. The large bottom shelf is going to be geared towards firewood. So I have way too many scrap pieces of wood hanging around in my shop right now. Like, give you guys kind of a bit of an overview here. Look at I got all those buckets. I got scrap wood laying in the wall. I got scrap wood on the anvil. My utility cart has a bunch of scrap wood, and then I also have like my original scrap wood bin is back there. It's that green box in the far back corner. I have scrap wood all over this shop, and I need to condense everything, and I need to bring some manner of order to the chaos. So that is the point of this project, is to have a singular dedicated space where I will also fix the amount of scrap woods I have, because this is going to be, so the shelf is going to be 24 inches in width, it's going to be 24 inches in depth, and it's going to be 68 inches tall. So that's going to be the general measurements of the thing, and that is going to be a fixed amount of space for scrap lumber. So, should be able to, but just committing to having a dedicated amount of room for scrap lumber is just going to help me keep myself from accumulating too much. Because that's my problem right now, is I'm accumulating a lot right now. I'm also not doing a lot of fire pits, so that's also another reason why I'm accumulating a lot right now. It's because I'm not doing any sort of fire pit stuff. I'm not burning anything I'm generating. But that's also why I'm going to have that section underneath that's going to be dedicated for, like, firewood. So that wood hoarder. I'm a wood hoarder. I'm a terrible wood hoarder, Mr. Spock. So, we're going to be doing a lot of our cutting today with the good old Mikita-kun. I mean, once fall rolls around, I'm going to be doing a lot. I'm going to make up for lost time around my fire pit. I'm going to be sorely making up for lost time. Now, what's my depth? Actually, you know what? Okay, cool. So my depth is pretty much looks to be set from the last time I was using it. I guess I was doing some playing around with 2x4s or something. So, okay, cool. So, I have rough corners here. I gotta take care of the rough edges first. So, I'm all I'm gonna do. Actually, gotta make sure I don't hit a mic stand. So, just take a bit off. And then that gives me a clean... Oh. And that gives me a clean reference there. I someday gotta figure out how I wish to better swing these dang 2x4s around. Because they're 8 foot long, they're big. So, let's see here. Can I go that way? I can sort of, reasonably. So, I think let's reposition you guys closer to over here, because I'm probably going to be making my cuts here. So, I want these bad boys to be 68 inches long. So if we hit that, where does that put us? Where does it put us? Oh, that's our 68 right there. So, and yes, I set the height on this at 68 just to avoid meme numbers. Because that's how I do it. So, we got our first line on our first piece. Bring this out. Let's see. And I just need to position you guys a bit over, because room. I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this in. There we go. And that's one piece down. That is going to be one piece of many. But I like that. I like that I can actually move it around, because that is challenging. So we got our next piece of numbers here. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I did with the first piece. I'm going to be going back to the other side of the table saw stand. to actually clean the end. To get a nice, clean little reference in. And with a clean reference end established, I'll position this roughly where I want. Really need them. We'll move the table saw at some point to get better tracking. But we'll worry about that when we get to that point. Oh, okay. I've got a little bit of plastic coming off the tape measure. I'll grab my knife. Take care of that. That little bit plastic off there. Knife goes back. Make my mark. I made a mark. Woo! And I got a mark. Bring it all the way across. Because I like myself a good visual reference. Like, look how good of a visual reference that is. It's always good to be able to see what you're wanting to do. And that's a second 2x4. I also love this material. Not only does it look pretty, it also smells pretty. It's just sad it doesn't keep that color. Okay. Move our tools there. Bring this guy in. So I've already got it clean in on this end. I think both. Almost beer time? Oh no! I don't want to have beer time. Okay. So both ends are clean. I mean, I still got plenty of tea though. Plenty of tea. And depending on like how far we get, we might go further. Well, we might get like further into like beer time. Okay, let's bring this. It's about magical. Oh wow. This piece is real close to what we want. This 68 is right there, so we're not really taking a whole lot off. So this size of scrap is going to be a good size scrap for a scrap bin. Whereas the longer scraps down there, those are usually better in my lumber storage shelf I have in the basement. Because I'm a wood hoarder. I've got wood stashed everywhere I can keep it stashed, because, well, I like doing projects, and also I also like buying materials when it's cheap. And usually buying materials cheaply involves buying in bulk. And I sure do buy my materials in bulk. So, once again, like with the others, I have an end to clean up, so I'm going to clean up my end. With the end cleaned up, bring it in. Drop. And let's find our length. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. There. Right there. little bit further out from table saw. Okay. And there we go. So that is the 2x4's cut. So that's basically the 4 posts. We have posts for the shelf. Now I have some thinking to do. And the thinkings is how this is going to come together. It's going to come together with, I need to find, there's a 2x4. Okay. So what I'm wanting to do, so say this is the post. Actually, it's in a little bit more. So let's say this is our post. I want to dado the post. So I'm gonna have side pieces, and I want to dado it so these rest in that groove. Now I may not dado that aggressively because I don't want to like dado like more than half the material, but that is going to be how how the shelf is going to come together, because essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 sides of the shelf and as a frame, and then the actual material for like the actual like shelves themselves, that will be the lateral support. Well, the front and back. So, and I know I probably did a real bad job explaining that, but I've got to put a whole bunch of dados in these, which is probably what is going to be the thing I spend the most amount of time on today. I guess I could make it quicker if I wanted to fire up the miter saw, but sounds too much like work. So, but I also have the issue of cutting the side pieces. Honestly, I'm looking. You know what? Screw it. I'm looking at these guys. I'm gonna go ahead. We're just gonna go ahead and work on the datas. So, ooh, actually, wait a second. Wait a second. I actually should make my life a little bit easier. Actually, we need to dimension our side slats. So we're gonna get those done because I want a piece off one of them to be a reference piece for when I actually start cutting the dados. So that way the dados are cut to the piece that's actually supposed to fit in there. So I've ripped this board. This was a 6-inch board. I went ahead and ripped it on the table saw this morning. So I now have 2 boards, and I have clean ends on. I've got clean cut ends on this end, but rough ends on the other. And, oh look, another 420. And I want these to be 2 feet long. So take the measure. This might actually get me my reference pieces, actually. So I might just cut these 2 down. We'll be good. We might be good. Mark on that. Let's do a mark. On that. So that gets me 2 marks on those guys. Sorry, gamer. You're a touch too close. I don't have room. Next piece. And there we go. So, I now have 2 pieces, dimension, and I'm gonna want one of those offcuts, so you guys can look at the table saw for a moment. So I'm going to use this offcut from making these 2 pieces, and this is going to determine the width of my dados. So these pieces are going to go back on the sawhorses. And we are going to go ahead and get ourselves situated for doing what's essentially going to be the long pain in the butt portion of this build, which is cutting dados, because this build's gonna get a lot of dados. So let's go ahead and bring 1 piece of wood in, and now the hard part for me is there's gonna be dados at either end of these boards. And I probably should keep turning this. Let's see here. Ooh, okay. Reasonables? Okay. Let's grab another board. Yeah, sure. You'll be like the back piece. So, essentially what I want to do here is I want to do... Yeah, do I want to do both at the same time? Because unfortunately this one's kind of a curvy boy, which really isn't like. This is the fun thing with like a scrap wood project like this is, it doesn't really matter. But I need to. What's words? I was wanting to transfer my lines from this guy onto these and make them and do these as sets, but I think I might have to. Or actually, there's a couple of options. Because I was thinking about doing these in sets, because they're going to be like match sets. That's a way to do it. The other way to do it is take one board, do it first, then this becomes a reference that I then transfer the lines to the other boards, and I feel better about going that route. So, let's see. How do I want to? That's the biggest issue when you're trying to fling around lumber in a shop like mine is. You just gotta have like room for everything. So we're gonna go ahead and start at the top. Once that's flush, and this is actually the big reason why I wanted this piece. That way, that's all I have to do. I just have to make sure this is flush, good, and then all I do is I strike a line, and then that's going to be a dado. Now, let's go ahead and determine our other dados. So there's going to be one at the top, and then from the top down, from the top coming down at 13 inches is going to be the start of the next one. Now, the reason why I want the space between each like level to be roughly 12 inches, maybe a little bit more than 12 inches, but I'm doing 13 inches because this is going to be a side rail. A side rail is going to go here, and then the decking boards for the shelf are going to go on top of it. So, to account for the thickness of those boards, I'm measuring 13 inches, and then that gives me, this is going to be like the top shelf. Now, for my, because there's got to be 2 lines, all I have to do is find my first line, then use this magic piece of scrap, set it flush with that edge, strike a line across, I'm good. So, that's how I'm going to do these. So for the next one, I'm going to take measure all the way up to the edge of that top line. And at 13 inches, I'll make a mark. Bring this in. And then this is the top mark for shelf 2. Get my scrap out. Fully on that line. Fold. Strike. Easy second line. So, it's going to be my first line. There. Okay, measure up to the line. Once it's up on that line, find 13. 13 is going to be my lucky number today. Feed square in. Mark. And then with our reference piece. So with that, let's see, can you, 1, 2, you guys can't see the third. There we go. So we got 1, 2, 3. This is going to be where 3 of the shelves are going to go. So essentially, what the shelf is going to look like is we're going to have 3 tiers of shelves with a top and then a bottom. And then for the bottom one, I will just, honestly, I can just part of me wants to arbitrarily place it like a 1/2 inch off the ground. Just so that way there's just a touch of clearance off the floor. Because I just don't want it I want the posts, the ends of these posts, directly touching the floor of my shop. But I don't want my sideboards, I don't want these directly laying on it, so. Get that real nice and close. Square it up. Actually, better method. Use the square to just push it in. Then strike a line. And those are the 5 points I need to cut out. So I'm going to want to take about, let's say, at least a 1/2 inch of material, maybe a little, actually 3/4. 3/4. Which would be about half the thickness of the boards. So that should, because I don't want to take too much material, because if I take too much material, then the 2x4s get too thin. Even though I'm hoping to get these fairly tight in terms of what I'm wanting to do here. So, getting back to my circular saw, I'm gonna do, that's my adjustment lever for the depth. Now, we got a spot. That looks like my magic 3/4. That looks to be about 3/4 of room. Now, before I start cutting, and really this is like one of the great benefits of like scrap woods, having scrap wood in the shop, is you can use these to do referencing. So, what I mean by that and I'm really glad I did a reference on that, because holy smokes, that's a lot of material right there. And that's also not 3/4. I know that's not 3/4. Yeah, that's closer to 5/8. So I go back to my blade adjustment. And with my blade adjustment, I'll reduce the amount of blade exposed. Get my scrap out. And do cut number 2. And then, as you can see, it went up, but I'm still not liking the amount of material, because I feel like this is going to be aggressive. Actually, how thick is the stock? It's inch. Well, that looks better on that side of the world. Okay, so I also think I'm pulling my saw up. Oh, that's also another reason. Another reason it looks like it's cutting through like so much of the material is because I have this bark. But yeah, that's all. Like, that's closer to being better. I think what I'll do, though, is I will just raise it a touch more. Ooh, too much. Give it a touch more. And we'll see what this one is. I got a very wiggly hand on that. Because Jeepers Creepers. Okay. I'm really comfortable with that. That I am comfortable with. Because that's still gonna give plenty of meat on the post to protect it. Well, to just support. Now, this means my boards are probably gonna stick out a touch, but I'm okay with that. Because if we go back to our reference piece here, we make our dados that big, our sideboards will stick out by 1/4 of an inch, which might make it look a little weird, but it's literally a shelf for scrap wood that is almost nearly being made out of scrap wood, so okay. And how do I want to go about this? So I've got circular saw set in terms of the depth I want for my cuts. So, and what is this? This is kind of reasonable setup. Not probably ideal, but I'm gonna push this guy further out of the way. Grab this guy. And then to make these dados, I'm just going to do a bunch of cuts across in between my lines. And then I'll chisel out the waist. But we'll probably go ahead. I don't know. I'll actually start down here closer to me. You guys won't be able to see it as much, but I kind of do want to kind of do the first one in an area where I have a lot of control and visual. Did you see the movie, The Odyssey? Sugi, everyone says you have to see it in IMAX. Oh no. Not a movie everyone has to see. I don't really go to the movies. But yeah, so at the end of all that cutting, that's what we're left with. And then this can get all chiseled out, whatever. So, but moving forward with, because we gotta do more of these bad boys. Let's see. I like the idea of here, because I got pretty good control here. And actually, I'm gonna gasp, exclamation point, whatever. I'm gonna step up my safety here, because it was a touch sketch with the board moving on me. So. There we go. So, tighten that clamp up. Oh, that clamp loosened up. One over here. Oh, come on. Okay. Let's see if it plays nice. Keeps wanting to pop. That's one of the things that you get when you get Harbor Freight clamps. So, my board's a lot more secure. It's not going to do any wigglings on me. I am definitely generating a fair amount of sawdust right now, so excuse me. I'm going to go turn on the air cleaner. So I've got the air cleaner on. I got it set to level 2. And that's gonna help me out in here. At least somewhat. Somewhat protecting my lungs. Can't like fully protect them. That's too much work. Okay, so I do have an okayish amount of room for there. I can use that there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and knock this one and this one out. and then I'll probably reposition to take care of the last two down there. So, if you like circular saw ASMR, you're gonna get plenty of it. Okay. So, since my clamp is here, I'm going to be using my speed square on this side, and then I'll be cutting this way. The only problem is it's a little bit harder for me to see. Okay. And yep, that is pretty hard to see. No. Okay. I'm in danger of hitting the camera. Push you further out. Woo! Oh. That's two done. Just saw your post on X. Glad to found you. Oh, okay. Welcome in. Ooh, Dusty Santos. Yeah, things have gotten pretty dusty around here already. But yeah. Yep, that's my name, lol. Okay, now for the last two, I've got options. Actually, how firm do I... Okay, if the support's good, then the support's good. So, pull the cable out. Hitting clamp. And... do that number. Actually... yeah! There we go. There we go. Okay, so we got two more here. Oh. Hello and welcome in. Noel, Noreen, Naru. I might also have dust on my glasses because things have gotten very pink and very dusty. Actually, wait a second. I actually don't fully like the setup. No L is fine. Okay. Oh, thanks for subscribing. So, I want to make sure I have enough room for my saw here. Because there's been an issue with a few of the past ones. But I also just want to... Like, also I want to give you guys a view. And I have to balance. That's not switch. I'm gonna move those cords down there because I don't want to cut anything. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and tackle that guy right out there. And then we'll get into the one that's kind of close to a clamp. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Camera's too close. I pivot and turn. There it is. One of your shirts showed up on my alg and I noticed you were live. Oh, okay, cool. Well, thanks for stopping by. I'm currently in the middle of making a shelf for my scrap lumber. Funny enough, I'm actually gonna stick it. Do I got a pokey thing? It's actually gonna go in that little corner of my shop up there. So, right now I'm trying to cut what is called a dado in these 2x4s because I'm going to be using these 2x4s as my posts. And then I want to be able to recess a piece of wood in here, and then that's going to be like the side rail for the project. So, let's see. Do that. And there we go. So, I am making all these cuts with the circular saw to weaken all this wood, so that way when I take it with when I get my chisel in here, I can be able to get all that material out. Your saw needs a doobie noise reduction attachment. This guy? This guy's this is quiet. I mean, it's quiet compared to the table saw. Table saw is very loud. This guy is quiet, at least in comparison. But yeah, we got one more slot for the sideboards on this 2x4 to do. And I'm gonna move this clamp, because I don't like the clamp. Actually, I know what I can do. Ooh. Yeah, that's fun. What I'll do is I'll loosen both clamps. And then I'll just bring my board out. And then so I've got two clamps on this. One further down closer to me. And then I've got this guy over here. And then with this is much further away from my clamp. And that gets me lots of room for my speed square. So, we've got one more round of noise for this particular board, and then we'll go from there. I got a little bit experimenty with, actually, let's try, I'm gonna try something with this guy, and we'll see how it goes. We'll test pilot. And this is going to be the test pilot. Test pilot is going to be if I only do like 2 or 3, a few, couple cuts, can I still carve that out? Because historically I've made them more like this. Swinging wood around. And swinging the camera around. So. Woo! There we go. Now we got actual model tracking again. So, I think I'm going to tackle this guy. Let's see. And actually, speaking of... No! The tea's gone. No. Is the tea gone? I like the tea. Oh no, the tea's gone. Okay. Time to... fire up the tea kettle. And also pray that it doesn't destroy my... doesn't pop a bright... Beer time! Beer time! Mr. Spock! We're playing with power tools and chisels and sharp objects. Also, I do want to have this, like, roast tea, so... But I do have some NA beer in my portable cooler, so once I get through this cup of tea, I'll crack open the cold one eventually. But for now, I must hydrate. Yay, hydration. Okay, so we got a second on that. Where's... oh yeah. Hammers are good. Gotta have a hammer to drive the chisel. Otherwise, well... chiseling's not gonna happen. Or, well, it just won't happen well. I'm so cautious of accidents. I take my wedding ring. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like my boss at work, he has silicone wedding rings for when he's working. Because with the silicone, if a blade hits it, it'll just destroy the silicone, and he doesn't have something that's gonna cause him to lose a finger. Okay. Got a fair bit. I can add a little bit. Touch more. I'm gonna go park that on the workbench. Which, funny enough, I call it a workbench, but I also don't use it enough. I use it way too much as a place to park things, as you can kind of see. It's a parking place thing. Actually, wait a second. I am fully expecting this to move on me. So, we'll get a caster blocked. And, let's see. Do I want to just start at the... let's just pick a spot. Pick a spot. Pick a spot, any spot. Woo! Actually, wait a second. Let's do... there we go. That's a bit better of a view. But yeah, today's just gonna be chill woodworking. Right, that's actually the nice thing with cedar is this, because cedar is this material. It's very brittle. And because it's brittle, it snaps fairly easily. So I'm going to be really interested in seeing how the experimental dado cuts. but granted, also one of the issues with it is you get terrible chip out with it. Let's see. Actually, do I need to take measures? I'm not going to take measures. Because you can do, like, score lines to sever the wood fibers. That helps with some of the chip out. But I'm not going to worry about that. Like, this is shop furniture. Doesn't have to be pretty. Granted, it's gonna be pretty when it's actually built because of the color, but actually, wait a second. I'm using a half. It's going pretty well. Let's go to 3/4. But yeah, pretty workable material to boot. Now, granted, depending on how, I might actually take this out of the clamps and see how bad that chip out is. Because if that chip out's bad enough, then might be warranting taking measures against. Got some knots. Do that. Let's see. Do a little bit more towards me. Essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make my saw blade's lines disappear. And if I make those disappear, then I'll have the depth of my cut. This guy's my high spots. It's right on the strike knot too. Okay. Now can I just kind of clean this up with a little bit of go. I don't know. Let's go ahead and reference. Okay, so plenty loose. But what's my? Got a little bit of cleaning up. I think it'll be good. And there it is. Cedar's terrible, terrible chip out. If we get this cut down just a touch more. We will be perfect, I'm sure. Ugh. I think I'm gonna be happy with that. Yeah. Now it's loose, but unfortunately, I ended up cutting it loose, but that's on me. But to... you guys around to this. It's pretty good recessed in there. A little bit of wood glue, some screws, because I really do hold most of my projects together with screws. I know some people don't look upon screws favorably, but for me, they do keep the projects held together. Now, unfortunately, this is gonna be a part of deep shame on me. Well, we're gonna go see my deep shame, because I said I wasn't gonna worry about the chip out, and we're gonna see how bad that was, because we had one real bad chip out. So, really didn't lose a whole lot of material here, but we did get a pretty nasty chip there. Sure. I made a VHS shelf and wanted to avoid screws, but I couldn't. Nobody complained about them. Yeah. Well, the scary thing is I'm deeply scared if actual people from woodworking YouTube were to discover me, because then it'd be like, oh dear God, this amateur. But you know what? There's not enough people just being amateurs in a garage having fun. And that's part of the reason why I do this, is because I want to see more amateurs having fun. So, I'm going to be using my 1.5" chisel. And all I'm going to do is just create a score line on the side opposite of me. So that way, when I'm taking my chisel from this side to that side, there's already a weak point, and then the wood will break at that weak point. And that should take care of my chip out problem. But I have to do that for all of them. Which, there was a part of me that envisioned getting this project done today. And at this point in time, I don't think that's happening. Which is fine, I don't rush. Rushing with woodworking is honestly, that's how you really get hurt, is if you were to get caught up in like thinking, oh, I gotta batch this out or get this done at this time, then you get hurt. But as long as you're willing to take it easy, take your time, don't get lost in the sauce, you'll be good. Let's see. Then move you guys over. And cutting these end ones are going to be fun. Okay, well, we already got a little bit of volunteerism there. I'll take it. I'll take any volunteerism I can get. So, since we're kind of in this area, how about we try and position ourselves like this? How do I... Unfortunately, my biggest issue right now is how do I maintain tracking? The issues of being a VTuber. Granted, we also just need more project VTubers. Like, VTubing shouldn't be all just video games. Which, don't get me wrong, video games are fun, but there's other sorts of fun. Like power tools. Power tools are fun. Making stuff is fun. There's all sorts of... There's so many different kinds of fun. You shouldn't limit yourself on the fun you can have in your life. Now, before I get into doing these next guys, I'm gonna be fiddly with the camera. I wanna drop you guys in a touch. And then... Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit better. That's better. Oh, do. Yeah, actually. Oh yeah. Okay. Sweet. As long as I got freedom to use my tools, I'm good. So, get in here and let's start working on this next one. And we'll see how bad the chip out is. Hopefully it's not too bad. Oh. Okay, so that was moving the 2x4. So we'll cut a little bit out as a bit of a relief, and then rather tackle the big project in one big go. We'll chip away at it, but I'm gonna actually tighten these clamps up because they did not seem to be holding. So, let's see. It seems better. Let's hope it holds. And let's try. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, so, you guys can't see it yet, but I actually had a little knot right there. And that's why it was fighting me. But yeah, I really think doing those score lines, good idea. Because it's definitely being cleaner. With the chip out. There we go. Let's work this a bit. Ooh. Yay, nuts. But yeah, so far I fully expect this one to be a lot cleaner. Who'd believe it? If you just spend time doing something, you get better at it. And straight on through. Yeah, not really getting... Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Woo! There we go. Hammer, hang out there. Darn you not. That should take care of that side, and... Also, doing things this way is not necessarily necessary, but this is an aspect of woodworking I've been meaning to get better at. And, like, cutting dados, cutting rabbits, those sorts of fun things. And you're only going to get better if you actually practice. So, that's kind of why when I do simple shop projects like this, I'm trying to incorporate techniques that I would actually... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a screw up. And you know what? That's actually... that's a screw up fixed by screws at that. Okay, so I forgot. This was actually the one I really screwed up with the circular saw. I actually came down way too low. And I followed the lines I had, but you know what? I am happy with that data. So, now the fun thing is actually the edge ones are gonna not be fun though. The edge datas are not gonna be fun, but that one went really well. I was really happy with it. So let's go ahead, position you guys down to this guy. There we go. Now I am going to try and challenge myself with this guy. So because I did fewer cuts, there's going to be less give in the material. Since there's less give in the material, I'm going to go with a smaller chisel. So that way I'm putting more force in less area, but I'm also trying to see if this gets me out of less circular saw usage. So we'll just see how it goes. And so far, so good. Ooh. Almost hit the camera there. Oh. Come on, clamp. I believe in you. Woohoo! Okay. Oh, okay. I see you right there. Head a little out. Gonna be the knots, man. Knots are gonna be the challenge, but still, this is giving way a lot easier than I thought it would. Woo! Did I just hear clamp pop? Ooh! You can see how the wood fibers gave way, and I did just hear a clamp pop. I gotta go. Catch you another time. Yep. You have a good rest of your day, Dusty. As for me, I'm gonna enjoy my shop time. Because I do like my shop time. Ow. Oh, dearie. That knot will give me trouble. But I have the power of Harbor Freight chisels. Actually, wait a second. Okay. So, that worked out well, reasonably. I think what I'll do going forward with cutting these is I won't do them this wide. I'll probably do like 5 cuts, make it a little bit easier. Because right here, in this one, we've got ourselves a nice little knot. But not the base of the knot. The top part. Oh! Nice big chunk of material. That's what I want. Ha ha! Got a bit of a rise there. Okay. Actually, since we're now more in trying to flatten and define it, get the 3/4 out. Ooh, sorry. Sorry about that. I was having a bit too much fun. Now I do have that knot in that corner down here. That's gonna be a tricky one. So, hopefully. That will do it. Going back in with the 3/4. Just get cleaned out. Now we got a whole bunch of things here. Shouldn't take too much. Clean that out. Okay, what are we looking at? Wow. Did we do better this time? Much better. Still cutting them way too big, but you know what? I'm still... it's reasonables. You know? Ooh. Granted, working with the chisel is definitely a workout. That beer is actually sounding better and better. Now that we move to the end, these are going to be a little bit more challenging because they're kind of floating around in air, and also my model tracking is probably just going to completely crap out. So let's see what we can do. Also, when I'm going to be applying a lot of force here, I'm going to be really levering on the 2x4. So we'll see what we can do here. Woohoo! And it's already not wanting to be nice. Also because, So I'm gonna go ahead and reposition the clamps because this is out here, just bouncing around. It's actually bouncing on me. And because it's bouncing on me, the board is absorbing some of the impact of the chisel. So I need to do something about that. And the solution is bringing the board closer in. And now with the board closer to the table and the clamp, when I apply force to here, it's not going to want to bounce as badly. Or at least that's the dream. That's the dream. And come on, clamp. What do you want to do? I haven't been wanting to clamp down. Ooh, yeah. You're really not wanting to. I would appreciate it. Actually, you know what? I have other clamps. If that one wants to be a pain in the patootie, so be it. Clamp. Clamp. I mean, that's kind of like the thing with Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is like, hey, you can get some reasonably good stuff for a really good price. And then other times you just also get that wonderful Harbor Freight quality. Like, these chisels you guys been seeing me use, these are Harbor Freight chisels. And they work pretty well. But they're not perfect. Oh, is that enough? My board is still creeping zombies. Still creeping on me. Appreciate that. There we go. There we go. And get you guys a little bit better in there. That not? Yep. That was a knot, alright. Oh hey. Oh hey buddy. You hanging out? He's hanging out. Okay. That's fine. Don't bite me. And then we got a big knot right here. So. Okay. Let's get my hands on a bigger chisel. I got a knot there. And sure enough I do. So we got a little knot here, a knot there, and a knot up in this corner, so. Got a few challenges, but a few challenges is no problem. Let's do. Go, that'll take care of that. Go. Almost done. Let's get our piece of test material. I think I've got a little bit more material to remove here, and we'll be great. And let me bring my hand around. Hey, Choo-Choo! See how that looks. And I am absolutely tickled pink. I'm back for lunch. How's it going, Sugi? It's going good. We've got ourselves we got ourselves like 4 dados, so. And that's 4 dados out of 5, and that's for 1 2x4. So, good progress has been made. Much progress remains. This is definitely going to be a multi-stream project, which I wasn't originally. Ooh, hey, whiteboard. I know you're home to my very poor drawings, but... Whoop! There we go. And then I want to bring this in. We'll do a roundabout there. But yeah, it's been good. It has been a lovely morning. There we go. Dados look cool. Was that all hand tools, or what did you do to get that shape? So, as you can see, we have a whole bunch of lines here. Those lines were provided by Mikita-kun here. And then, past that, it's hammers. Woo! That was a hiccup. Okay. But yeah, past that, it was just hammers and chisels doing the rest of the work. Also did a test of one where I did fewer lines. Like I literally did 3 lines for the dado versus these like larger, more multi-line ones, and it worked out pretty darn well. So I'm very happy with that because it generates a lot. It takes time and it generates sawdust to do this way. Oh wait. Oh no. I can't put hammer to chisel just yet. I gotta set a clamp. Don't forget the clamps. There we go. In there. This is the kind of wood that the purple pink fades away over time, right? Yes. Yes, it is. It will fade with time. And actually my offcut here, so this brown, that's what it'll eventually look like, but it's very pretty right now. And good morning and well afternoon to you too, Kiwi. It's still morning. We've got about 24 minutes of morning left. Let's see. Now, sturdy. Yay! It's sturdy. Ooh, let's go to the 3/4 chisel. Find our magic spot. clamp's too loose. What are you making? I am making a shelf for my scrap lumber. And now I am so this piece of wood is going to be one of the posts for the shelf. Bro, this just looks like all those soap carving videos. I have not seen soap carving videos. Granted, funny thing about mentioning soap. When I was first looking to picking up a making hobby, rather than brewing, my first option was considering getting into doing soap making. Because I was like, I wanted to make a thing I would use, and I was like, well, I certainly do. I do like soap. I use soap. So I thought about making soap. And I was like, you know what? I consume more beer than soap, though. So I ended up going down the beer route. You're gonna start a new hobby of soap carving? I don't know. I don't think I should be picking up any more hobbies. I am already perfectly mediocre at woodworking as is, and I am comfortable with that. Well, and I would like to get better at this, because I like trees. And that's actually a big reason why I like woodworking, is because woodworking is interacting with trees. Just crazy chisel tricks. And hello and welcome in. Mingled _IX. Oh dearie. Oh, these aren't crazy chisel tricks. I'm not that good. I'm not. I'm amateur hour. But yeah, I hope you're having a good Sunday. Let's see here. It's still pretty rough. Let's see if we can... Woo! And then here, drop a few soft hammer blows. Wood fibers. Yes. My favorite nutritional supplement. Might have to hammer this one. I can never think of sawdust without thinking of the video someone made where they mixed it with food to see if anyone would notice. What did you use to make the waist cuts? So for the waist cuts, I used a good old battery-operated Makita. Is what I use for the waste cuts. But yeah. It generates a lot of sawdust though. Well, you guys can see the levels of sawdust I've got. So, I'm gonna... Actually, let's see how this fits. Once again, I have overmade it, but hopefully I'll be able to fix my overmaking when we get to the next part, because so I wanted to do the dados for one of these bad boys first, so that way I can work on transferring lines over to the other project pieces. Eventually that clamp's gonna let go. Let's let go. That's it. I was wondering, because doing those with the handsaws a pain. Apartment workshop with no power tools. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just a guy in a basement garage, so I've got 300 square feet of room, which, I mean, hey, I've got a table saw. I've got a fair amount of power tools, but I also don't have like any like big power tools. I don't have a jointer. Part of me is really debating on, do I splurge to get big, nice jointer? Actually. Oh, there's my broom. There you are. Knew I gotcha. I'll do this. Messy, 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 messy. But that is the fun thing with woodworking, is you don't actually need like a full-on shop. Jointer hand plane has been pretty good to me. Ah, nice. Good to hear. So, the rough game plan here, and I do emphasize the word rough. I cannot overemphasize the word rough enough, actually. What I want is this guy? Yeah. We'll grab this guy. So, this board has a bit of a bend to it. I'm not too worried about that bend, but I am gonna clamp it to this board, so that way when I transfer lines over, they stay somewhat reasonably transferred over. And then I also am gonna be using this piece to... That's what I did. Wait. Oh yeah. Wait a second. Okay. I need to actually make a mark of that, because I cut both end dados pretty flush, and I forgot for the bottom one I wanted these posts to be a ½ inch off the concrete, ½ inch off the floor. So I know this is my top one, so I want you and creepers. Let us get ourselves some manner of straight edge, because straight edges. So I'm gonna also try and be cheating a couple of my lines here to get them closer to where I actually want them. Hey now, don't wiggles. And that's the problem with this guy. This guy likes to wiggles on me. Yeah, okay, so I'm happy with that one. Let's come another step down. So let's do something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna cheat it up. Ooh, oh man. Breakfast does not sit too well with me. But I gotta head back to employment. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And I hope your employment isn't too terrible, Ari. I hope it's as reasonably pleasant as it gets. Eat it there. And then let's see how that... But, okay. So that fits good. That fits good. Okay. So we'll just keep coming down the board. Oh, for this one's really bad. Really... I think this is the one I actually really messed up. But just because something's messed up doesn't mean it's project ruining. You know what's funny? Today we're short-staffed and we have short staff, and I'm the tallest and I'm 5'4". Oh no. Granted, thanks for the dad joke. Dad jokes are gonna always be appreciated here. Well, dad jokes and puns. Dad jokes and puns always. So that's gonna be that side of the world. Yeah, this one's bad. How bad is it? Let's get a nice visual. And we'll do that. Ooh. So we'll bring... I think this one's pretty tight. Make it a hair bit smaller. Uh-oh. Go for it. Touch. How much of a smidgen? I think that might be my smidgen smaller. Woo. Close. Close is that? Touch big. Just make that a touch bigger. I don't want it to be too small. Okay. And now time for our last one towards the end. Last one towards the end. Now I was originally wanting to leave a 1/2 inch of material at the bottom. Well, I got a little too caught up in having fun. So it is what it is. This to that number. Because this is the great thing about shop furniture, shop projects. The tolerances are incredibly high. Well, opposite of tight. Like, there's no tight tolerances here. Not a one. So, I got that, I got that. All reasonable things. We'll bring this guy back out. We are done with clamp. Well, we're done having our boards clamped together, so it's gonna be time to fire up the circular saw and do a few cuts on these bad boys. But before that, I've been drinking a fair amount of tea today, so I'm gonna go hit the restroom. Then after hitting the restroom, we'll get back to this, and I think for today, my game plan will be to finish cutting these for these boards. So hopefully, yeah, this should hopefully be like a 2-stream project. But yeah, I'll be back after a few. Okay, I am back. I'm really ready to kick up some sawdust, but before that, I'm gonna crack open an athletic, since Mr. Spock wanted me to have a beer. So cheers to you, Mr. Spock. Now, let's see. This seems a little bit better of a setup. And... oh, hell yeah, I love Athletic. Athletic has done such an incredible service to people everywhere by just making non-alcoholic beer good. And actually... I need to get my other clamp of this, because they're so much easier, they're quicker and easier to undo. Now granted, Deschutes Brewing out of Bend, Oregon, they have a non-alcoholic version of their Black Brute, a stout. That's really good too. But it is real nice to live in an era. What was that? Shoots? A stout. Deschutes is the brewery. They're a fairly big West Coast brewery here in the US. I mean, big enough for like their West Coast stuff to make it over to my East Coast self. And then I have to give myself an absolute... yeah, Deschutes. Yeah, they got a non-alcoholic version of their Black Brute, which is good. I really like that. That's... if I want an NA beer that's got like a little bit more heft to it, I'll get that, because I do really like the Heineken 00, but the Heineken 00 is a lager, and it goes down very easily, so it's very easy for me to go through a 6-pack of the Heineken 00 in like a sitting, and it's like, nah, this is a bit too much. This is a bit too much. But if I get the Deschutes, it's a little bit of a beefier beer, and because it's a beefier beer, I am more inclined to just like have like 2 or 3 in a day versus knocking out the whole 6-pack. So things are gonna get loud. Things are gonna be very saw noisy. So this is your warning to turn things down. But yeah, since maybe having the beer was a bad idea. But since the cedar's been, it's pretty soft, it's been giving pretty well for me. I'm gonna be cutting down my relief cuts just so that way I get myself out of generating less sawdust. So, uh-oh. Wood chips are abundant on the floor, and the casters are gonna find them. So I think I can do this one, and then I'll have to undo my clamps and move the board. So let's try find where I want to go. That's really dang close. And there we go. So that is 2 of the dados, relief cut. And now I get to move a board. Or do I want to flip it? I think flipping it is the option. Board. Do a barrel roll. Gosh. Do young people even... I don't know. Would young people understand do a barrel roll? I feel like that's kind of maybe too old of a meme. Now, since I have one... So, I've got one here. One here. I want to think about clamp position. Because, well, actually, I know what's probably the answer is. And the answer is just clamp the damn board down, and if you need to move it, Tsugi. There we go. Because, let's see. Okay. So I can easily do this one, and I can do the one at the far end, and then I'll probably just shimmy the board however I need to do that one. Uh-oh. Who's that? One moment. Okay. Oh. I guess I also didn't see her text. But yeah, that was my sister calling me. Because I am currently... She went on vacation. And I was doing some pup sitting. And she wanted to know the plans for how the dog is going to get back to her house. And she's just going to come pick up the dog. So now that got that addressed, let's make more saw noises. So let's see, how many cuts did we make there? 1, 2, 3, 6. I'm pretty confident we can make this work, so let's go ahead and bring you guys to the far end of the world. Actually, sorry. I need to send you even further out so I don't hit the camera with the snow. Reasonable. And there we go. Now we got one more dado's worth of relief cuts to make. And we'll be done. I think I actually know my strategy. I just move the board out. We'll do clamp on 1. Clamp on 2. Nice and firm. And let's get this done. Hang out. Have a good shop time. Yep. You have a good rest of your day, sir. And I fully intend to have a good shop time. I mean, honestly, shop time is always a good time. So, we've got relief cuts done. Next up. Ooh, that's a gnarly knot there. Next up is going to be taking the broad chisel and doing a relief on the backside to minimize chip out. So, kind of bring you guys back in because this is going to be the best spot for me to do this because solid table is good. Go. Oh boy, we're at the end of our board. It's like being at the end of your rope, but you gotta fight the principle of leverage. Like that. There we go. So that's 3 done. I am very deeply concerned about that knot. So I'm going to opt for a smaller chisel. I'm going to be a little bit rougher about that, because it's going to be a pain. But hey, the data's already wanting to open up, so... Oh no! I hear the footsteps of the Dark One. Okay, and... There we go! Yay, I got lines cut. Whew, man. I don't know what is it with me right now, but I definitely feel fatigued. So, you know what? Let's just work. Let's start at the end and work our way down. I think that's a reasonably solid strategy. So, we'll do this. Let's do that, just to set it. Because the board is... This 2x4 has curves like a 2x4 from Home Depot. Even though it's not from Home Depot. It'd be too expensive if it came from Home Depot. But that's also the reason why I am using it, is I can get cedar for a good price. Sure. Let's see. I think that's a reasonable spot as any to start. Oh, really wanting to turn. I'm going to tighten that up, and instead we're going to start at the top. And we'll just have to work it across. But yeah. And with that, and it finally gave. Beer would help. My man. Mr. Spot coming in with the assist. Woo. Can I get that tighter? Being a little touch too wiggly. Wow. I'm going to just reset that clamp. We're going to reset that clamp, and we're going to be taking smaller bites. And the smaller bite strategy is going to work. And also, I think going in at the corner helps too. Okay. Gotta carry these through. That one might have been a little bit naughty. I think that's why it was resisting as much. Put a second clamp down on that side. Oh man, Mr. Spock just being like, just solve your problems with more clamps. Let's see what we can get. Do. Okay. Now we got 2 clamps. Bright Eyes is back. This is the 3rd time she came in to lay her egg. She's being a pain. I mean, that's Bright Eyes for you. Let's see. Okay, I'm definitely high here. Man. This type of work is making me really want to have one of those Japanese push chisels, where it's similar in this, but the tang is a bit longer and the handle is also bigger. So, because there's a bit of hitting my knuckles action happening. Okay. She laid a soft egg the other day. I think she's getting older and slowing down egg production. Well, we're all getting older. One day at a time. Now... Okay, so we got a high spot here and a high spot there. It's hitting that knot. Woo! Kenneth Robinson, thank you for subscribing. Now I gotta deal with this nasty knot I got here. Oy boy. Good old knots. See if we can get some purchase. Alright. Let's see what that does. Rough, but much better. Much better. Ooh, okay. So I still have a high spot here to there. We'll go in with the smaller chisel. And that knot's just gone now. Ooh. Okay. So I just need to clean that up and we'll be good. Okay. I think that's enough wood chucking. That's enough wood chucking. Woo! So, that's the first one. Of 5 I gotta do on this board. Let's hope the next ones are a little bit easier. I have to be fingers crossed on this. I mean, this one already wanted to open up on me, so I'll take that as a good sign. Woo! Oh ho! Another 420. You enjoy your 420. I'm gonna enjoy my wood carving. Actually, this is technically wood carving, isn't it? Even though it's not typically what people think of wood carving, but... Woo! Ooh. Now, let's see. Try to get a nice... Sun's coming out. It's going to be a dry motorcycle racing this afternoon. Ooh. That sounds fun. I'm just going to... Well, my game plans for this afternoon involve hanging out with my friend, and he's gonna go buy a TV because he wants to buy a TV for his basement area. And that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna watch my best friend spend money. The fun thing is he's going to complain about it the whole way. He's like, oh, spending money. It's like, yeah, but you want the TV for your entertainment area, right? He's like, yeah. Well, buy the dang TV. Let's see. It looks... Right now it looks terrible. But if it looks terrible, but what does it actually do? Other than be too big. Well, it's actually pretty flat. Wow, this one probably just needs some cleaning up and it'd be good. Just looks. That's it, I'm checking the garden. Go outside, enjoy it. I've practically given up on my garden. I mean, when I get out of it, I'll take, but as far as like really like going really far with like taking care of it and such, not so much. I'm hitting some wood fibers there. This might be the ugliest one today. But a big part of it is we had a big strike knot right in the side. But really, it's pretty dang good though. Let's see. Guys, that's called good enough for Sugi work. Okay. Let's see here. Can I bring you guys over for... Oh, no. Address an obstacle. And there we go. Here's dado number 3. Yeah, remember to hydrate. Especially if you go outside. Hydrating is really important if you go outside. So. Boundless optimism once again has paid off in my favor again. Woo! Granted, I should avoid hitting the camera. But you know what? The sweet joys of having fun in the shop. Okay. It's starting to go a little bit low. Oh, man. Man, this one's actually playing fairly nice, fairly nice. We'll do a larger chisel. Whew. I'm really wanting a good, a good paring chisel right now. These get the job done, but they're not the best tool for the job. There we go. Kind of clean those. Ooh. Let's do... Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So we have our first tight fit. So so this is actually our first dado that's actually just a touch too small. So I'm just gonna come in here in a good reasonable spot, come up. We're gonna just open this up a little bit. Oh, a bit more. There we go. So far, looking reasonably good. Let's see how our piece of wood fits. Ooh. Ooh, it's tight. So I'm gonna get back in here. See a bit of a high spot. I'm also going to just go ahead and open this up a touch more. Man. And then, kind of keep that. And we'll give that another test. Oh, chisel's in the way. Okay. Ooh, wait a second. Still very tight. But I think for now, let's see how the bottom goes. So I'm a touch tall in the center. I'm gonna fix that. Then once I get the center part closer to where I want it, probably be close to calling it good. What we looking like? I'm happy. I'm happy. Yay! Whew. Whew. Granted, my arms are also getting tired, but hey, I've only got 2 more of these bad boys to cut. So, I'm gonna bring you guys out. I gotta undo some clamps. One and 2. There we go. So, oh. Okie dokie. We lost the webcam, but we'll fix it. It's also at webcam is also at 9% battery. So do that. There we go. We're gonna swap batteries. Ooh, okay. Magic light. Cool. Do we have feed? And we got feed. Woohoo! Okay. Exciting. So, let us be reasonably zoomed in on this guy. Doesn't feel like my board wants to move, which is the ideal outcome. And I'm gonna grab a beer. Granted, I'm also gonna be having another athletic. So cheers. Okay, let's get our chisels. Nope. Nope, I do not have those clamps tight enough. Even with that light tapping, it was wanting to move. Okay. There's that clamp. Okay. So we went through the clamps, added a third. Should be great. Ah. I see. Really nasty knot right here. Woohoo! Oh boy. Woo! Ho ho! Oh, hey, Flashvid! How are you doing? Having a good Sunday? Been pretty good so far. Other than the occasional knot. Woo! I'm good. Went to church with the fam, and my mom wanted me to go, so I did. It was alright. Okay. Good to hear. Knot, gotcha, yeah. There's a couple of these, there's been a couple of these bad boys, but I mean, that's just working with wood for you. Ooh. Ooh. I might get a real bad split. Yep. Wow. Oh, okay, so that's why that pulled off on me. I was like, seemed a little bit aggressive with how it was going to pull off, and I was like, I don't want that. But with that, that is how it does. But yeah, we're pretty much at the part where it's like, we've got, because these are going to be posts for a shelf. And I want to put, so I'm wanting to put these dados in it to be the rails for be the side connectors for the posts. And now is, and this is literally what I've been doing for a better part of the stream. It's been hand carving dados out, but unfortunately doing it with the dado stack is very challenging. Because if I were to cut the dados up with the dado stack, I have to move this 2x4 that's close to 6 feet long across the table saw. And I didn't feel like doing that. So I was like, oh, I'll just hand cut them. And a project I thought I'd probably get done in 1-ish streams is firmly in 2-stream territory. But yeah, that's where we're at. Let's do a bit of a tap. Okay, we got that one knot there. Woo! Seems like... Yes, Supervisor? Hey, Churcher, go look outside. Oh no, it's easier for me to show you the chat if you go look outside. But yeah, I've been up-sitting this weekend. Oh. I shouldn't have picked up the camera. We'll come back. Darn cables. Dog! Oh yeah, that's my sister's dog. Hey, Churcher! Say hello to chat. Dog, yes, dogs. Gotta pet the dog. Oh yeah, that's Charlie Boy. And hello, Zerzon. How are you doing? Whoa, wait. I lost YouTube Studio. Interesting. Okay. Oh. Yes. Yep. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. iPhone that recognizes streaming mode. Hey now. Well, time for the good old standby of tech solutions. Turn it off and then turn it back on, and we'll see what that does. Okay, iPhone recognizes streaming mode. Streaming mode on. It's weird it's saying it twice though. Oh, okay. Oh well. Because I've got one dado left to do. Well, I've got this guy to finish up, and then I've got one more. And then that's going to be it for today. So we're just going to just... Oh, the iPhone's having a bad day. Okay, so it's probably a loose connection then. I just wiggled it. I wiggled the thing I shouldn't have wiggled. Darn technology being technology. It's nice when it works, though. Okay. Ooh. This one's looking pretty good. How's my... So I am a touch tall right in this corner down here. So I'm gonna get in with my chisel. And try and make that shorter. Only problem is I've got a real bad knot right there. Okay, what do we have? I'll take it. I will take that. I will happily take that. iPhone's having a conniption though. You know what? We'll just see what it thinks of that. Oh. It did not like that. How about now? Nope, still got... That loose connection. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Well, if that doesn't work, then it's just foobar. Oh, okay, yeah. It's firmly in foobar territory then. Because OBS just said it doesn't recognize the device. It's like OBS. It's an iPhone. Okay, let's see. As long as I've got a reasonable bit of room, let's get into this. And this is the last one for the day. Oh. Brandon, let's not get chisel stuck in there. Okay. Grant, you're moving a bit too much. Let's get that tighter. And hopefully that does something. And ow! Woo! Let's see. Ooh. Table saw stands doing way too much wigglings. Way too many wiggles. Oh. One moment. Whoop. Sorry about that. Sister's home. Sister's here to pick up her dog, so I heard activity and I wanted to make sure I verified the activity as nothing bad happening. But yeah, let's get this cleaned up so that way I can have a chit chat with my sister. Farewell, dog. Yeah, I've had him for a couple days. Like, other people's dogs are like the best dog. They're like grandkids. You get to enjoy them for a little while and then send them back to their actual owners. All the fun, none of the responsibility. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see. But yeah, really wishing I had a paring chisel for this. That has been today's wish. Because these are just standard chisels, which are fine. But the paring chisel has a longer tang and a bigger handle. So it's better for doing this work. Man. Those wood fibers in that corner being a little bit of a pain in the butt. But that's what hammers are for. Let's get the hammer out and... Clean this up. Really dang close. Ow. Did I just pick up a splinter? Nope, no splinter. Yay! Oh, wow. That looks like a good rabbit. A little rough looking aesthetically, but done. Done is good. And also done is, well, done's also all sorts of good right now because I've got a sister at the house and we're probably gonna chit chat about her vacation, so. Whew. I'd like to say big thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Sorry about some of the interruptions and whatnot, but we got half our posts done. So we've got to do the other half of the posts. Then we actually have to build the frame and do a little bit more, then dimension some lumber for the shelving. And yeah, so there's really not a lot. Well, there's a fair bit amount. I'm not sure if I'll be able to knock it out in one more stream or not. So we'll see how it goes. But I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in today. This has been Sugi Yamagawa. Have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!